I think games on Web3 eventually are gonna be big. So Ethereum is about decentralized computing, right? Our industry is about decentralized computing. And turns out that the decentralized part was very hard to achieve. And we spent all these years focusing on making the decentralized piece a reality. And we left the computing behind. So we end up with very decentralized but very constrained computer, right? Execution environment in which you have to rebuild everything, right? And that's a very hard environment to build a fun game on. So we have built some games, but let's be honest, like at least most that I played were not like that fun because they had this forced simplicity to it because they had to rewrite everything from scratch, right? And it's a funny example. Like there was a game, I think it was called Topology, which is quite interesting game back in the day, and it had this like planetary logic and so on, and they had to code the entire physics in Solidity, and I'm sure it took them like a long time to do it. Like imagine coding all the physics from scratch. And if you take like a game like Angry Birds, Angry Birds uses the same physics, right? When you like slingshot a bird, it uses the same like physics laws as the Topology game did. And I'm sure the Angry Birds developers didn't have to write those physics laws. They just imported a physics library that already existed on a normal Web2 software library, uh, one of the many open source libraries out there. So what I'm trying to say is that the environment is so constrained that it makes it very hard for you to build cool games. So I think once you start to work on the computing part of the decentralized computing, you start to unlock the possibility of these new cool games that are actually fun to play. And then I think eventually we'll see a boom of Web3 games. But let me say this, we have one of the coolest applications in Cartesi, built on Cartesi, is called Rives, Rives. You can find them on Twitter, on X, the Rives.io, also the website. It's like a world arcade game. And you can actually code your own Cartesi and submit to the application. And then you can play like all these awesome games on chain, fully decentralized, fully verifiable on Ethereum. And you can play Doom, you can play Snake, you can play like Pac-Man and some like custom made games. It's quite cool.
Okay, I'll definitely check them out. This sounds interesting.